Hey, friends, best friends. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see, this is the review for Baddies episode 10. Sorry. So, this episode started out with Taseki and Smiley sitting at the pool talking about stuff like what's going on with the girls, what happened at the clubs. They both say that the girls, they don't know what to expect from the girls, because every day is a little bit volatile. And to this point, they don't really know what to do, what to expect. They thought they was going to be chasing a bag, but clearly not. And so then they both say that these ladies are not really after a bag, and they all about fighting, which I agree, because every episode you see another fight, and it's starting to get whack. Especially the issues that they addressing is starting to get whack. So Smiley says Biggie is cool because Taseki asks her what she think about Biggie. So Smiley says Biggie is cool. She loud. She crazy. And Taseki says she think that Biggie is misunderstood. I don't really care. Smiley felt the same about Vicky, like that Vicky was misunderstood. And they said ever since Vicky left the house been going crazy, that she praying for their downfall. I said, child, she probably is. She probably is praying for y'all downfall. Taseki says she don't understand what they be doing with this fighting stuff, that they just be bluffing. And when you fighting somebody, you're supposed to fight a chick to hurt her, like beat her, knock her teeth out, like all kind of foolishness. So she was like, they just be bluffing. They just bluffing chicks. And she don't think that they don't like money. I mean, I agree, because last season, you see that they are getting paid. This season, I ain't see them collect nothing. I ain't see Natalie divvy out no money for them, no nothing. I didn't see anything. So I'm a little bit perplexed as to what is going on, what's happening. So then we cut to a scene where Rolly, Mariah Lynn, Scotty, Natalie, and E.T., they sitting by the pool. They, rolling up, and they talking about Bobby, Smyrna, how it was at the club, how he was lit at the club with them. And then they talking about T, how they see T popping in and out or whatever, and she's not really around them. And they're talking about just the funniness of that. And I'm just like, I don't blame her. I would do the same thing, because y'all are whack. But at this point, I don't really care. I'm just watching just to watch. So E.T. says she pulled T aside, which is so weird, because down the line you're going to see that T said they never had a conversation. But E.T. said she pulled T aside, and she told her that she don't want no more problems, but she doesn't know if how true, if T thought she was being true, or not, and hopefully that they can move forward. She says she wants to get to know the real T, not the one that she has been meeting, because she don't think that that's the real T. And I'm like, we don't think that that's the real you. I don't. And why do you care? You didn't even spend a minute to get to know her. You didn't even have a conversation before you decided to fight her, before you started to act funny and try to make a name for yourself. You didn't even try to get to know her. So how would you know her? How would you know her either way it goes? It makes no sense, ma'am. Save it for somebody who don't know what's going on with this show. Natalie asked them what club they like better. They said they like Club Billionaire better. So Natalie lets them know that she wants to have a tete-a-tete, that she's going to call a meeting. But the meeting is not technically a meeting. Meeting is a gang initiation. But we'll leave that to you. Mariah wants her chain back. She's like, I want her chain back. I want my chain back. I'm tired of seeing this chick. Every time I see her, I just want to say, where's my chain? Give me my chain, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You should have beat her for your chain. If you felt so strongly about it, you should have beat her for her chain. And before all of these girls got here, you was around her for like 3 days. You had ample amount of time to get your chain back, ma'am. Ample amount of time to get your chain back. You've been around her in the clubs, all of that stuff. In the beginning, the first couple of episodes, oh, I'm trying to keep my peace. I ain't trying to be fighting with this girl every day. Now, all of a sudden, I want your chain. I want my chain back. I want to be fighting with her. It's suspect. It's giving suspect. And it's giving everybody's putting a battery in your dumb back. And they're going to get you beat up. And I wish she would have beat you up more than she did. So she said she's going to make her give her chain back tonight. Child, because they having a meeting. Which I told y'all. It's an initiation. She going to make her give her chain back. So, we'll see. They want to confront, they talking about how they want to confront her about missing the carriage. And I'm just like, why do y'all care? Why y'all studying her box? It's not yours. Who cares what she doing? How she doing it? Whatever. Disassociate. That's the best thing I could think of. So Anna and Biggie is at the hospital. Anna thinks she broke her finger when she was fighting DJ Sky. And of course, Biggie want to get checked out for the bite. She got a tetanus shot and all of that stuff. These two get to arguing because Anna Mac don't want to be there. She tired of her. She never really seen it for Biggie anyway. So she's just annoyed that she got to be in her presence. And they get into an argument and all of this and all that. So she said she slapped her with a blanket. And they kicked her out of the hospital. She couldn't get seen because they kicked her out of the hospital. She outside popping crap, talking about she want to do this and she going to do that to Biggie. And I was just like, I don't think you need more people. You too little. Biggie is not DJ Sky and Scotty. She got a little bit more size on her. And I think her aim is a little bit definitely better than DJ Sky. But I think she got a little bit more coordination than Scotty. And I think you need more people, ma'am. Even though you're a firecracker, I think you need more people. So we cut to a scene where T, Camilla, Sky is meeting up at some park to discuss, what's happening and the fact that she hasn't been in the house. Why she not being in the house? And I'm just like, I told y'all, the house issue was a thing. They mad because she's not associating herself with these hood rats. That's why they mad. They mad because she's not associating herself with a bunch of hood rats. That's why they're mad. That's why they're mad. They asked her about what's going on with her and T, and she explains, she don't understand. She thinks T has a crush on her. She thinks that T has a crush on her. E.T. has a crush on her. She said Scarface looked like a dinosaur. She don't know why she keep attacking her. She doesn't want to come back to the house, which I agree, I wouldn't either. And T said that she's not going back to the house. She doesn't want to go to the meeting because it always turns into violence, and she may or may not show up at the party because she says she don't want to be that girl that say I'm coming and then don't come to the party. I don't blame her. Sky she did this rap about because T said she don't understand why they don't be coming to dance with her. And she was like, it's all right, I'm going to dance with you, and then I'm going to dance with somebody on the left side of me. And she was like, she's just a rapper for the summer, for the first 2 for 2 weeks in the summer. I said, I hear you, girl. Do your thing. I'm not mad at you. Sorry for rushing through this review. I am at work, and I'm just like, I have a whole lot of emotions that this review put me through, and I think this is the best way for me to get through it without being too much, because I feel like I don't want all of my reviews to be like the last one. I feel like I was ranting too much in the last one. I felt like I let too much go, but they doing too much, and I just don't want to be caught in that space. So that's why I'm going through this review the way I am. So then we cut to the scene where Suki and Sapphire are on the Sprinter on the way to Natalie's house. Because that's where everybody's going to meet up. They had a show previously. They went to the show and now they're on their way back. So Suki says she just there for the vibe and for the drinks. She trying to do the turn up. She ain't there for nothing else. We'll see. So Sapphire says it doesn't bother her being in a house with a bunch of girls, like with a bunch of chicks. But Suki says it does bother her because they are chemically imbalanced women that hate each other. Chemically imbalanced women that hate each other. Yet you're the one that has a song that's called Eating Somebody's Butt. Chemically imbalanced And yet you had 3 BBLs. 3 BBLs. Chemically imbalanced. You have a tiger tattoo on your face. You have a tiger tattoo on your face. You're starting to look like the Catwoman because you're having too much fillers and all of that stuff. And you were such a beautiful girl. I wish you stopped touching your face. Stop messing with your face. You're a beautiful woman. Stop messing with your face. 3 BBLs. Chemically imbalanced women who don't like each other. I see you, sis. I see you. Sapphire says that she never pays her car insurance. It's up for repo right now as we speak. While she is on a show called BADDies, her car is up for repo. And they're the chemically imbalanced ones. Okay. I see you too. Sapphire wants to know who's really standing on business and who's just in people's business. They're going to eat these words later. Suki said T may have been getting jumped on because she fought 3 girls in one day at the race carts. How ironic. We're going to see y'all jump Smiley later. So ironic that you would say something like that. I see y'all. I see y'all. Suki said that she heard that there's like a team type thing going on at the house that they clicking up. And y'all just joined the bandwagon. Twilly D and Twilly Dum. Just join the bandwagon, as we see. Sapphire says she doesn't know the girls, but she has a question for one of the girls. She doesn't say who the girl is, but she does say she doesn't care whose team this girl is on. She gonna address the issue. You don't know the girls. They don't operate, both of them agree that they don't operate on weird vibes and weird energy. But it's giving weird energy. It's giving weird energy. Sapphire never said who the girl was. Up until the end of the episode, she still hasn't said who the girl was. So I don't know if it's Rolly. I don't know if it's Smiley. I don't know if it's Biggie. It's one of the 3, but she never says. So Suki and Sapphire get to Natalie's house. Natalie sits them down and tells them what's going on. She tells them a bunch of lies. She discusses the Biggie and Rolly fight, talking about how Rolly beat her up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it looked like a tie to me. Then she discusses the T and ET fight, and she lied and said that Scarface just jumped up and started beating T up. And that, my friend, was a lie. Scarface was sneaking. She was sneaking up on T, and T just happened to turn around and see her and was a little bit ready. So you're a liar, Natalie. Then she tells these girls that Smiley is full of drama now and is causing trouble. Natalie likes to throw the rock and hide her hand. She puts a battery in all of these girls' bags. She puts a target on a specific cast member, and she embellishes stories about them. She says Smiley is causing a lot of trouble. I haven't seen Smiley cause any trouble outside of her coming in there and beating Mariah Lynn up the first episode. But y'all was all on that time. Now she's causing a lot of trouble. Roll the footage and let us see the trouble that she's causing. because I don't see it. Again, this is a case of the mysterious bully crew. And Twilly D and Twilly Dumb just jumped on a bandwagon. I thought better of y'all, but I was wrong. Sookie said when she walks through a door, she always has fun. They might end up chilling because she has a different energy. She on a whole nother vibe. She on a whole nother wavelength. Okay, we'll see later. Sookie explains that the beef that she got with Smiley is because when she had a fight with Mariah Lynn, and took her chain, Smiley texted her and was like, I just beat up your friend Mariah Lynn and I took her chain. Sookie feels like, why is she texting her that? First of all, girl, I don't know you. Why are you texting me? What you trying to do? You trying to start beef? You trying to press me? I agree, because who does that? I would never. I just don't understand. I didn't understand that. So I understand. So Sookie does have an actual issue with Smiley. It's like reasonable. It's not like this beef that these other chicks is pulling out of thin air with her. If she lying and all stuff, she a liar. If you know she a liar, just stay away. But Sookie has an actual issue with her, which I would address, because she texted your cell phone. That's an issue about something that had nothing to do with you. I get it. So she wants to know, what does she want her to do with that information? Does she want her to fight for Mariah Lynn's chain? Like, what you trying to press her? So, I agree. And I would address it. Like, what was that for? Like, why are you texting my phone? I don't know you from a can of paint. Like, girl, get on. So she has a valid issue with a girl. And this is the first throughout the show, outside of the internet's foolishness that they got going on. So Sapphire says that they're there to teach these girls about sisterhood. They're there to teach the girls about sisterhood, to get a bag and have fun and to stand on business. Sisterhood. That the end result doesn't, she says that the end result doesn't always have to be about a fight. But at the end of the episode, I'm just like, sis, where's the sisterhood? Where is the sisterhood? Yeah. So they get to the basement, they go down to the basement, and it's, Mariah Lynn, Scotty, Natalie, Rolly, Sookie, Sapphire. They taking shots. They doing, having a good time, enjoying themselves, all of that good stuff. So the other girls show up at the place. The other girls show up at the house, and they feeling some kind of way because the house is like immaculate. It's really big. It looks like a Belia type of home. And they like, we always getting a short end of the stick. Camilla is like, it's starting to make me feel some kind of way. You should. Because they're just letting you know that you're a second-class citizen. They even called it, Sapphire at one point even called it House B. House B. That right there should tell you something looking back. If y'all look back at these episodes, that right there should tell you something, what they think of you in their head. So they messing around talking about eating butt and alter egos and all of this stuff. And Natalie's alter ego is is Nasty Nun. Sookie's alter ego is Destiny. Rolly apparently is the biggest freak, says Natalie, but I feel like Natalie is pandering. Scotty says they need to have etiquette. Again, do you really want to take that IQ test, ma'am? Do you really want to take that IQ test? Saying things like etiquette. But you're the smartest cup in the cupboard. Scarface says she doesn't drink, but yet she took multiple shots of Hennessy. For somebody who don't drink. I wouldn't go to the hard liquor first. I would just be watering it down. So they get down to the women's cave, all of the kids. So it's like shots, and more shots, child. They was doing it up. Shotty o'clocky or whatever they call it. And they, still talking and bugging out, having a good time. Sapphire says Rolly ain't. They start talking about like Biggie and the fact where she at, because she wasn't there yet. And she was in the hospital still getting taken care of. She comes in with her thing on her hand, and she had gotten a tetanus shot and all that stuff. But she wasn't there at the time. So they talking about, oh, she in the hospital because Rolly bit her. And Rolly saying, oh, she didn't bite her. She didn't bite her. She keeps saying that she bit herself. And we don't believe it, ma'am. We don't believe it. Even Anna Mac said, girl, she didn't bite herself. You did that. Everybody knows that she did that. You bit her. You bit her. You even swore on your kid that you didn't bite her. You bit her. You bit her. Sapphire says in the confessionals, Rolly ain't that hungry to bite you. She doesn't believe her. But how would you know, ma'am? Didn't you just say you don't know these girls? In the Sprinter? You said you didn't know them well. That's what you said. Your words. I don't know them well. So how would you know whether she would bite her or not? How would you know? How would you know? Everybody else believes she did. I believe she did. I think she bit her. And I don't care. Anna Mac starts telling the story about Biggie, how she slapped Biggie in the hospital. First she hit her with a blanket. Now she slapped her. She's a liar. I believe she hit her with a blanket, but you didn't slap her because it would have been a fight at that hospital. I don't think you would have walked away with slapping that girl. Absolutely not. Rolly then brings up the Smiley situation. And everybody gets real quiet because everybody want to know. Everybody want to know. Everybody want to know, did she really miss the carriage? Okay. So she says she feels like Smiley is lying about missing the carriage. I said, I don't know. I'm not up her cooch. I'm not in her box. I'm not smelling her box. I'm not nowhere around her box. So I don't know. Rolly says, I'm going to tell you how I feel. But why do you care so much whether she did or not? Why are you worried about her box and what she does with it? Why do y'all care so much? If y'all all know she's a liar and a storyteller, then ice her out. You don't have to do that. Like what y'all doing. You don't. Just ice her out until she feel like she want to leave the show. Rolly says her people, some production lady, told her that she just missed her period. That's a HIPAA violation, ma'am. That's a HIPAA violation. That's a HIPAA violation. Telling that girl business. Whoever you are, they need to identify you and sue you. Because I'm sure she told her more than that. But then, why would you go ask that lady, Rolly? Why do you care? Because you're looking for trouble. Because I wouldn't go ask production. I don't care whether the production is my people's or not. I wouldn't ask production or not. I wouldn't ask them. Because it's not my business what happens. If she didn't tell me that, it's not my business. And whether I believe it or not, who cares? It's not mine. It's not my box. It's not yours. It's definitely not your box. So then they start saying stuff like, oh, they're not going to let you out the hospital without da-da-da-da-da. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. They're not going to... Let me tell y'all something. I had one. And I left the hospital for 2 weeks straight every day because it was taking them too long to give it to me. And then I asked my cousin, who's a nurse, what would happen if I just stopped going back to the hospital because they taking too long. I can't sit in this hospital all day, blah, 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 whatever. And she said, you're going to bleed, you're going to hemorrhage, and you're going to bleed out. That's what made me go back to the hospital and stay. So you can leave. But y'all don't care. Like, why? Y'all just want to issue with her. You don't really care about her health. You don't really care about her safety. You just want to have an issue with her. So y'all just pulling stuff out of thin air. And why do you care so much about her box? It's not your box. Leave her box alone. But who am I? Right? So, yeah. Rolly said that the lady told her it was no blood. I said, this lady is child. So Smiley was like, listen, I be on perks real heavy. You know, I ain't had my period in 3 months. I got really, really sick. I wanted to be on a show. You know, my dude was yelling at me like you had another one. All of this stuff. Like skating around the whole topic or whatever. Saying all this other stuff. Rolly asked for the discharge papers. She said that they in the truck. You're a liar because you didn't know that they were going to ask for the discharge papers. So why would you bring them in the Sprinter? You're a liar. Rolly says that missing a carriage happens in stages. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But again, why are y'all so worried about this girl's box? But I know she's telling a lie somewhere down the lines. Something probably did happen, but she's telling a lie somewhere down the lines. Somewhere down the line, because the story is not adding up. All of the stuff that she's saying, it's not adding up. So she's lying about something. She was way too worried about being on the show more than she was worried about her health. And that was another indication that she was lying about something. Because all she kept saying was, I really wanted to be on the show. The show must go on, blah, blah, blah. So that was an indication to me that she's lying about something. I just can't put my finger on it. I don't know what. So then Suki said, well, who told you that, Rolly? And Rolly's like, Mariah Lynn told me to ask her. Mariah Lynn told me about it. And Mariah Lynn, damn! Could ask her. Mariah Lynn was sitting there looking stupid. Look how quick she threw you under the bus, Mariah Lynn. These are not your friends. These are not your friends. She threw you under the bus so fast. So fast you didn't even see it coming because you was sitting there looking stupid. You was sitting there looking stupid. Now you got to defend yourself because you really didn't want to get in it. You was trying to skate in it, but you really didn't want to get in it. You wanted to get it on the sideline. So Sapphire says, so you knew before you came on the show, you knew you was, with child. She said, I thought I was. But before she kept saying, I didn't know. You're lying. So I understand that you're lying, but it still doesn't constitute what they did to her. But she's lying because she kept saying, I didn't know. Even in confessionals, I didn't know. But now you're saying, I thought I was. And she tells Rolly, so Rolly said, how you going to say you got all the medication and stuff? And she said, well, they made me go back and get the medication. They're not going to discharge you without you get that. It's two separate things. The medication and the discharge. They'll give you a prescription or they're going to give you the medication or give you the prescription and go to the pharmacy to get the medication. But they're not going to make you go back and get it. You're an adult. So you're lying again. It is what it is. So Suki steps in and says she ain't worried about that stuff, that stuff because she wasn't here for that. That's none of her business. She steps in and she says that Smiley is starting trouble, and, she's victimizing herself, making herself a victim. She's a clout chaser. She not with no bullying. Real baddies don't bully. But y'all about to bully her. Yeah. So she said, I don't care about any of that. I'm worried about why you text my phone and what was the meaning behind it. She had a right to address it because I would have said the same thing. Like, what you texting my phone for? Like, I don't have nothing to do with that. That's between you and her. Why are you dragging me into this mess? Like, girl, get out of here. So she said it wasn't her. Smiley said it wasn't her. She said it was her friend Rose or Red Rose. First she said Red, and then she said it was her friend Red Rose. And Suki was like, I don't know her. She's like, but y'all was on FaceTime, so y'all was kicking it. Y'all, you know her. And Suki was like, I don't know her, and I don't know you. So why are you texting my phone? I said, I hear that. So Suki said she thought that Smiley was trying to press her. I did too. With a text like that. Like, I don't know where did it come from? It makes no sense. Anyway, so Seki says that's not what Suki said. That's not what Smiley says. Smiley not standing on hers, and she bluffing too. So everybody's bluffing in Seki's eyes. Suki asked Smiley if she wanted smoke. Smiley ain't saying nothing. Smiley's just like, I'm not fighting, whatever. So then, Sapphire asks Smiley if she melted the chain down, Mariah Lynn's chain down, and gave it and made a ring for her son. So Smiley said no, she didn't. And Rolly got mad and was like, you lying. And then boom, doused her with her drink. So she calls her liar and throws her drink on her. Smiley stands up and was like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then here come Mariah sneaking her from the sidelines and punches her in her face.
She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
They start fighting. She pushed Mariah Lynn down on the couch. They start fighting. The security break it up. But in the midst of all of this happening, you hear all of these birds shouting, get him, Mariah Lynn, get him, Mariah Lynn, pull a chain. And I'm just like, birds, all of them, birds. So the security breaks up the fight and Smiley walks in the kitchen, but she leans on the counter because she's like, her stomach hurt. You could tell her stomach hurt. She rubbing her stomach. She leaning on the counter, rubbing her stomach. You could tell something is wrong with her. So that's why I was telling y'all something happened. I don't know what, but something did happen. So Sapphire turns around and yells at Mariah Lynn's face, like, get that chain, get your chain. So I was just like, oh my God. So then you hear all of them yelling at her, square up, Mariah Lynn, square up, get your chain. So Mariah Lynn goes in the kitchen to fight again. And she's like, where's it at? And then she just starts hitting Smiley, right? But Smiley is like defensive mode now. She's not fighting Mariah Lynn back. She like holding her off and stuff like that. So that right there again tells me that something happened. Something is going on, but I don't know. And then her nose starts bleeding. So we see her nose is bleeding, like dripping, bleeding. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So she's not fighting back. And then she knows she could beat Mariah Lynn. So that right there tells you that it's a problem. And the episode goes off like that with with Smiley trying to get away from Mariah's punches and stuff. And she's not fighting back. She's just walking away. And Mariah Lynn is like following her, punching her, fighting her. So then we cut to a scene of the next episode and we get more whack stuff, more whack shit. I'm disappointed in Sapphire and Sookie. I literally held them to their words initially when they was on a bus. I thought that they was going to be different because I know like watching Sookie, I know Sookie only like pop off on people if they pop off on her, if they got issues with her. So I know that's how she moved. But Sapphire was really, I had higher hopes for you, but you down in the dumps with them. You down in the trash with them. Because you did a lot of whack stuff. You kind of egged Mariah Lynn on to, like, you was real messy in that whole situation. You was messy. You was real messy. And then when they cut to the scene and you choking somebody, you messy. And I didn't think you were. I thought you was a sisterhood. We're going to teach them a sisterhood and how to get a bag and everything is all fun and games. But yet you real messy, ma'am. You real messy. Yeah, so that was it. That's the end of this review. I thought I expected more from them, but they didn't. So we'll see what happens on the next episode. And then I'll see you guys for the next episode. I hope you guys have a great holiday. I hope you guys enjoy that turkey gobble gobble. And I will see you guys for the next one. Peace.